Okay, number next in our school setup area is our defaults. And these defaults are how the system is going to think about your student ratings, and also some other defaults that are pretty interesting, and they're tools that are built to make your life easier. So first, we're looking at our student ratings. And your student rating defaults are how many times that student has attended in the last 60 days, whether they're going to be considered to be an A student, a B student, a C student, or an NA not attended student. Now, we are actually going to be modifying this a good bit, whether it's the last 60 days, the last 30 days, the last 2 weeks, whatever the case might be. We're actually going to be making adjustments on that. And you'll just want to come in and take a look at this and make sure that this is set up the way you want it to be. What do you want to consider an A-rated student on your dashboard? Again, if we revisit the dashboard, you'll see that on the right-hand side over here under student rating, I have my green A students, my B students, my C students, and my MIA students. Again, I'm working with sample data here, so you're not going to be able to see a very good example. But all of my A students in this list are the students who have been in the school X number of times in the last 60 days, and all that's set up in the school settings. So in this particular case, I have this set up as 10. So if they've attended 10 times in the last 60 days, they'll be considered an A. 5 times in the last 60 days, they'll be considered a B. 2 times, they'll be considered a C. And once or less will be an A. Now again, we're going to be modifying the term here, whether it's 60 days or 2 weeks or 30 days. But either way, you can kind of do the math on your own, right? However you want that to be set up. How many times does a student has a student attended classes? That would make sense. And again, these are just sample numbers. I just popped them in here to have something in the space. So just think about how you want A-rated students, B-rated students, C-rated students, and MIAs. 246 default. A lot of schools like to call their students 2, 4, and 6 weeks after enrolling. Now, something to keep in mind with this process is that with our brand new marketing automation engine, we're much more aggressive than just 2, 4, and 6 weeks. But we still left the feature in place in case schools wanted to use it. So if you have this operational procedure where every student you want them to be communicated with 2, 4, and 6 weeks after enrolling, you just set up those dates here, like how many days after enrolling do you want those things to trigger? 14 days, 28 days, 42. That's just the simple math, right? So if you want to adjust that, instead of having the 2-week material go out to them, maybe you want it to happen in 7 days rather than 14 days. You could change that. The 4-week material, maybe you want that to happen in 14 days instead of 28. Whatever the case is, you can set all that up. So that's all up to you. And then finally, your financing defaults. These are for your late charges or tax rates in your area. You want to put your sales tax rate in here. Some schools, some locations have like a local option or whatever the case is. But this is a percentage that will be added to retail purchases in your pro shop and things like that. If you want to enter a return check fee, this will be printed on your agreements and things like that as well. And if you want to have a late payment charge, that'll be part of our procedure for handling your accounts as well. So those are all the defaults. Pretty simple, but these are just default settings that help the system know how you want it to behave, and they're totally customizable based on what your needs are. So take a look at those defaults and set those up the way you like, and we'll go from there. Thanks much. Speak to you soon.